Welcome back to Punk Rock Theologian. Today I want to look at the most valuable, precious resource that any one of us has, and that is time. Maybe it's just as I'm getting older, I'm starting to recognize how precious and important time is, and I just don't have time to waste on things anymore. This is something that really jumped out at me when I heard my pastor talking from Deuteronomy. In chapter 1, starting at verse 2, it says, normally it takes only 11 days to travel from Mount Sinai to Kadesh Barnea, going by way of Mount Seir. But 40 years after the Israelites left Egypt, on the first day of the 11th month, Moses addressed the people of Israel, telling them everything the Lord had commanded him to say. It's kind of easy to miss in that, but this just told us these people were on a journey that should take 11 days, and it took them 40 years doing it. I could spend some time unpacking the reasons for that, but let's just acknowledge the fact that they spent 40 years doing something that should take less than 2 weeks. And I believe this is a pattern that can happen to us. It really boils down to a missed opportunity, a waste of time, to the point that it's like wasted life. It's a wasted entire generation. That what God had intended to do with these people all got stalled and waited for 40 years to come back and do it with their children instead. And what I can't get over is God's purposes are accomplished. God does what God is going to do. Nothing is going to stop him. But we can stop ourselves from being able to be part of it. We can cause ourselves to miss out by not trusting, not taking the step, not doing what Jesus tells us to do. I'm in my mid 40s now. I can't afford to waste 40 years on something, or I'm never going to get there. Some of my biggest regrets at this point in life are looking back and seeing the things that, gosh, I could have done more by now. What do I have to show for all of the work and effort that I've put into life? How many people have I impacted? How many things did God put in front of me? Opportunities that I could have been part of something He was doing, and I missed it. I was afraid to take a step, or maybe I just didn't have the maturity at that point to be able to be part of it. This story in Deuteronomy is a story of tremendous blessing that God was just waiting to give them. He told them, here's the promised land flowing with milk and honey out before you. Go and take it. It's all yours. And they didn't. They missed that because of their lack of faith, their unbelief. And it makes me desperate to not let this happen in my life. I don't want to miss anything that God's got available. I know that He's going to accomplish what He wants to do, but I want to get to be part of it. Takes me to a pretty famous verse in Esther 4:14 that we only usually quote the second half of it that says, "Who knows if perhaps you were made queen for just such a time as this?" And it's like this, oh, tremendous destiny, and God has brought you here. And that's a cool thing, and it's a lesson worth exploring. But don't miss the first half of that verse, where Esther's uncle told her, if you keep quiet at a time like this, deliverance and relief for the Jews will arise from some other place, but you and your relatives will die. He's making the same point that God will accomplish God's purposes. God is not going to lose or fail. He's going to do what He's going to do. But you have a chance to be part of it. You have an opportunity to be used by God, to be part of what He's doing. And kind of takes me to like Jesus' words in Matthew 6:33, where He says, seek first the kingdom of God. How many people were there that we don't even know them because their story kind of fizzled out there? They had a chance to be with Jesus, to maybe be one of those 12 apostles that we do know the names, but instead they had something else that was more important to them. They weren't ready for it. How many people missed Jesus when He was there in their own town? How many people missed what God was doing in the book of Acts when the gospel is spreading like wildfire, but people are questioning it and saying, oh no, this Jesus guy, that's ridiculous to claim that someone was resurrected from the dead. How many people are still missing it today because we still can't get over ourselves? And so, what does that really mean for us? How can we be prepared? How can we make sure that we are ready for when Jesus has a mission for us, has something that He's calling us into? I don't want to be unprepared. I don't want to miss the opportunity and end up wasting 40 years on something that could have been accomplished in under 2 weeks and be one of the people who doesn't even get to see the amazing thing that God's doing because I missed out because I wasn't ready. This is why it's so important to make a habit of get into the Bible, spend time connecting with Jesus, listen for His voice, learn how to let Him guide you in the little things day by day so that when the big things come along, you actually have practice in this and you know what it is to follow him, and you know what it is to recognize his voice, and you know how to take a step of obedience. That is the only way we can make sure that we don't miss out on what he's going to do, because he's going to accomplish what he's going to accomplish. And the Bible makes it pretty clear. It's not about our faithfulness. He's going to be faithful and he keeps his promises and he does what he says he's going to do. But we can have a chance to be part of it. We can be used in it. We can witness it firsthand. Or we can drag our feet, we can question, we can be distracted with too many other things, and we can miss it. Let's build the pattern now of following Jesus, hearing his voice, and doing what he says, so that when the big moments come along, we're ready. And we can watch Jesus blow our minds doing things that we never could have imagined. This is the amazing life he's inviting us into, and I want to go on that ride.